The story begins with a girl named Grace who falls off a horse and suddenly remembers that in her past life, she was a 52-year-old man named Ken Saburo. Now she finds herself as the villain in a game. As she reflects on the absurdity of the situation, a servant named Josette brings her change of clothes. Grace thanks her, but ends up scaring the servant since she is supposed to act crueler. She then prepares to fulfill her role as the villain. We see part of Ken Saburo's past. He was an old-school otaku, and his daughter used to play the very game he has now reincarnated into. Recognizing the protagonist Anna, who trips at the entrance of the school, Ken Saburo recalls his daughter explaining the scenario. Grace approaches Anna to fulfill her role, but instead compliments her parents for raising her with love, accidentally triggering her paternal instincts. Hearing this, Anna cries moved, but everyone thinks Grace is reprimanding her, so she takes Anna aside. There, Anna shares the sacrifices her parents made for her education. Grace advises her to develop her skills to achieve success and happiness, making Anna cry again. Then a prince from the kingdom arrives, but Ken Saburo mixes up names from his past life. When Anna introduces herself to the prince, Ken Saburo uses the moment to recall saying that he guesses correctly, identifying him as Prince Virgil. Ken Saburo remembers this should have been the start of the prince's route, but since Grace shouldn't have been there, he asks her opinion about the prince. She replies that he seems like a good person, but is more interested in being friends with Grace, forcing her to agree, which raises their relationship level. From that moment, Anna becomes her follower. While walking through the hallways, they meet the director, and Ken Saburo shows off his social skills by greeting him elegantly. Later during class, Grace scolds Anna to make her pay more attention, believing it makes her look more evil, but it only increases Anna's respect. Anna misinterprets her actions as those of a model student enjoying learning, but Grace is happy because she can now do things that were difficult for her in her past life. We see Prince Virgil meeting with the typical Otome game character number 2, August, discussing whom to invite to the student council. During lunch, where students are allowed to serve themselves buffet style, Anna wants to take some food home for her family. Grace scolds her, thinking it sounds more villainous, but it only raises Anna's level further. At that moment, they notice other students complaining that staff isn't serving them food. Ken Saburo considers this behavior rude rather than villainous and demonstrates how everyone should elegantly serve themselves. The second chapter begins with Ken Saburo in his past life, proud that his daughter turned out to be an otaku like him, buying merch to support capitalism. After a normal workday, they talk about an anime project, reviving his superfan instincts. On his way home, satisfied, he sees a truck about to hit a child, jumps to save him, and gets a ticket to another world where an old man becomes the villain of a game. Truly, these isekai stories are getting crazier. Ken Saburo grows accustomed to his new life as Grace, but worries about not knowing enough about Otome games, such as different routes. Then Prince Virgil introduces the members of the council with aristocratic names. August, the red-haired head of security we've already seen, Richard, the silent vice president, and Pierre, the secretary. He also mentions others who aren't present. Afterwards, Ken Saburo decides to fulfill his role as the villain and interfere with Anna's romance, but doesn't know how. When Prince Virgil asks Grace her opinion about whether Anna should join the student council, she logically responds that despite being humble, her achievements speak for themselves. August is surprised, expecting a more classist response, making Ken Saburo realize his mistake. He imagines demanding strict adherence to high society norms mercilessly, but when he tries to deliver his monologue, he ruins it by sounding too kind, motivating Anna and raising her level again. Now all council members glow and accept her without problems. Outside, Ken Saburo wonders which route to choose, but forgets the names and postpones the decision. Later, they have their first practical magic class. The teacher demonstrates and explains that spells must be written in ancient letters so non-magical people can't read them, as some words contain mana called verbalism, and the older and richer the word, the better. Upon hearing this, Grace uses Japanese kanji in her practice, and it works, giving her a unique style of magic. One of her classmates creates a golem that goes out of control and heads toward Anna's magic circle, since she has a lot of mana. Since the spell cannot be deactivated until completed, Grace writes on the circle, turning off the golem and solving the problem. Next, we see Josette, who thinks something is strange about Grace. She overhears other servants saying Grace fired everyone, but remains kind until the day she fires them. When Josette drops Grace's tea, seeing her kindness, she apologizes and asks not to be fired, but transferred somewhere she can continue working. Kensaburo, experienced with childhood imagination, understands the situation and explains they won't sell her. Since Josette remains confused, Grace switches to Plan B and gives her candies, making her forget the situation. They then visit a dwarf named Wands, or Wands, to see if he can repair the teapot. He says it will take about 20 minutes, and Kensaburo, curious, stays to watch. When the dwarf finishes, he reveals that little Grace used to come often to watch him work. We see Grace's memories of how she changed when she started lessons on how to become an aristocrat, becoming more demanding of herself and others. Grace then asks the dwarf if she can return another day, and he agrees. A few days later, Grace asks the dwarf to build an abacus. The halls of the Royal Magic Academy serve as the setting for the Otome game. The student council, led by Prince Virgile, consisted of hand-picked students. Kenza struggled to remember everyone's names without a cheat sheet. This was a school for aristocrats, where council members were chosen based on talent and social standing, preparing them to govern the student body before taking powerful positions in the kingdom. Kenza noticed that romantic interests in Otome games often had elaborate hairstyles, unlike background characters. He concluded that flashy hairstyles were linked to popularity. Considering Anna's opinion on hairstyles might influence her romantic choices, he hoped she'd end up with someone who made her truly happy. Prince Virgile seemed friendly, but judged people based on their usefulness to the kingdom, making it challenging for the protagonist to gain his attention. Observing Anna and Grace working on the budget, the prince noted Grace's recent improvement, though their engagement was politically motivated rather than romantic. When Anna struggled with calculations, Kenza introduced an abacus, claiming it was a calculator from the Far East. Grace easily solved the problem, surprising everyone. The prince praised Anna's dedication despite her struggles, recognizing Grace's hidden efforts to improve. Discussions about the council's strength highlighted Auguste, a martial arts specialist, and Richard, a swordmaster, as top contenders. Their duel ended in a draw when a bug landed on Auguste. Kenza saved the insect, showing compassion, which impressed Auguste. Richard later showed the girls the Academy's weapon vault, making numerous puns. Kenza countered with wordplay, earning respect. Rumors spread about Grace's superiority among the council. Anna wrote to her parents about adapting well, thanks to Grace's mentorship. Other first-year council members included Prince Lucas Vierge and Lambert Balance. Lambert's stern attitude towards Anna stemmed from viewing her as a rival due to their similar backgrounds. Kenza explained that Lambert's criticism meant he paid attention to her, indicating potential affection. Grace taught Anna to use the abacus, helping her finish tasks faster. Lambert questioned the fairness, but Kenza offered him an abacus, knowing Lambert's curiosity. Anna then taught Lambert, flustering him, while Kenza encouraged Lucas to learn too, creating healthy competition. Kenza reflected on his involvement in Anna's romantic roots, hoping he hadn't overstepped. Despite concerns, he enjoyed assisting in her journey at the academy. Another day ended with laughter and learning. As students advance in their magical studies, they prepare for the ritual of obtaining magical creatures. Anna successfully performs the ritual, acquiring a pink Pegasus unicorn with the wind attribute. Though others consider it a simple bestia, Grace is happy for Anna, seeing the harmony between her character and the chosen creature. Hinako explains to her father the concept of the game, where each student is given a magical creature egg after a month of study. The hatched companion expands available spells and opens new learning opportunities. Additionally, the choice of Bestia can influence romantic storyline options. Prince Virgil and Auguste join the class during the ritual, impressing the students with their rare magical creatures, a fire phoenix and a wind griffin, respectively. The prince comments on Anna's choice, noting the kind nature of Pegasi and their ability to reflect their owner's talents. When it's Grace's turn, something unusual happens. Instead of a regular creature, an ancient dual-element dragon emerges from the egg. This shocks everyone, including the teachers. The master explains that they are witnessing a legendary creature with fire and water elements, which is extremely rare and powerful. Hinako, observing the events from outside the game, gains the opportunity to influence the course of events. Using contact through the TV screen, she helps create the dragon by combining her father's mana with that of the character. This experience becomes a crucial moment in their shared journey. The story continues, blending everyday academy life with the development of relationships between characters and Hinako's influence on gameplay. Kenzo keeps playing his role, although his actions increasingly aim at benefiting Anna, contrary to his original goal as an antagonist. Some time has passed since Kenzo entered this world. His daughter Hinako continues exploring ways to influence game events. She understands that their family bond allows them to interact through the TV screen, creating unique situations and solutions. In the real world, each day of the game corresponds to a month in virtual time. This allows Kenzo to quickly adapt to new conditions, observing events from different perspectives. Hinako becomes a key link between the real world and the game, helping her father make the right decisions. In the Magical Academy, events unfold around the main heroine Grace and her unusual dragon Orion. The story begins when the Academy director demonstrates Grace's new dragon beast to everyone. He notes that in all his years of teaching, he has never encountered a dragon with two kinetic attributes, fire and water. Grace explains that this could have happened due to the incident with the dolls, after which she began feeling as if a second soul had settled in her body. The director suggests testing the dragon's abilities. At first, Orion successfully attacks the target with fire, but experiences difficulties with water magic. An important feature is revealed here. Only Grace can see her beast's statistics and change its attributes through a special menu. After switching the attribute to water, the dragon successfully releases a powerful stream of water. The director is amazed by the creature's uniqueness and invites Grace to participate in the annual magic exhibition. Grace's friend Anna decides to support her and help prepare for the exhibition. Other students, Virgil and August, join them. Parallel to this, a storyline develops involving Hinako, who observes the events through the game, and her mother, who analyze what is happening. A notable meeting takes place in the library. Analyst Pierre is looking for Prince Virgil, who has once again disappeared from his tight schedule. It turns out that the prince periodically hides from his assistant to get some free time. Grace advises Pierre not to worry about it and notices that Pierre's gargoyle with the water attribute perfectly complements the prince's griffin with the wind attribute. Later, the group encounters a mysterious bone dragon during training. During the fight between August and Richard, the ground begins to shake and a skeleton-like monster emerges from the rocks. The young people try to deal with it using their beasts, a phoenix and a fish-like creature. Observing the battle, Grace creates a new spell that enhances the participants' beasts' abilities. Thanks to this, their pets transform, the phoenix becomes a shield, and the fish beast turns into a sword. This allows them to quickly defeat the bone dragon. After this, August and Richard swear eternal loyalty to Grace. However, preparations for the exhibition are complicated by the appearance of a group of girls who try to force Anna to give up her role as Grace's assistant. They claim that it looks bad for a duke's daughter to work with a commoner, and even hint that Anna speaks ill of Grace behind her back. Anna shows character and says that her family owns a famous bakery and has connections in the city. She warns the gossipers that if they are ready to slander others behind their backs, they will do the same to them. Having overheard this conversation, Grace elegantly resolves the conflict by linking the girls' behavior to their families' reputations. The prince shares observations that choosing Anna as a partner was not accidental. Her beast really complements Grace's dragon perfectly. Although the prince doesn't like to admit it, he agrees that Anna is the most suitable candidate to support Grace at the exhibition. The group continues preparing for the exhibition, experimenting with various combinations of magic and their beasts' abilities. Grace creates a magical fan that combines the functions of a magic wand and an ordinary fan, which draws interest from other students. Hinako notices how her father understands the game characters better and better. On the eve of the exhibition, the group conducts intensive training, perfecting the synchronization between magical creatures and their masters. The teachers and director are impressed by the students' progress and look forward to the upcoming event.
Duke brings his daughter a gift, a wooden horse, which causes embarrassment since she is already 15 years old. Kensaburo, in order to preserve Duke's authority, says it's a perfect gift and explains to the servants that
Duke presents his daughter with a wooden horse as a gift, which leads to an awkward situation since she is already 15. To uphold Duke's authority, Kensaburo quickly steps in, praising the gift as ideal and assuring the staff that Duke would never intentionally choose such a present for a teenage daughter. Grace notices that it's difficult for her father to be a parent. Duke confesses to Kensaburo that he feels unworthy of being a duke because he was adopted by the family due to his talent for accounting. During the school magic exams, Agus and Richard demonstrate a trick using animals as weapons. Grace had taught them this method. When it's Grace and Anna's turn to show their abilities, they perform a complex spell involving a dragon and a unicorn. Maestra tests their abilities by making them fight a mechanical monster. Anna manages to create a powerful tornado, and Grace supports it with water, creating an icy storm that defeats the monster. After the exam, Anna worries that she has gained weight at the academy. Grace understands the importance of appearance for a girl, but advises Anna to take care of her health. Anna starts training intensively to improve her magical abilities. Thanks to training with Grace, the level of intimacy between the students increases. They notice that by helping others, they can strengthen their relationships and improve in magic. Duke observes the successes of his daughter and her friends, feeling proud of their achievements in studies and magical arts. He realizes that despite his status, the most important thing is to support his family and fulfill his duty to society. Subscribe to keep up with next week's road. But for now, watch this next video. I'll see you all in the next one.